Okay, we're going to look at finding domain and range, and we're going to look at two different ways you can do that using Desmos. So in this instance here, we have a graph, and we have our drawing tools. And so in this problem, it says, what is the domain of the function, right? And so because this domain has ends, right, we need to find the boundaries. So in between, right, this is infinity dots right here, or infinity points. But they have ends, and so we want to describe this spread, right? So option number one could be to use that line tool and to actually just draw boundaries, right? So I see domain. My brain tells me that's the x-axis, which goes from left to right. So I'm looking for possible x values, left to right. So I'm going to draw a left boundary right here, where the dot is. And then on the right side, I'm going to draw another boundary, right? And so what that's telling me now is that all of the x values will be between, and I'm just going to follow this down. So that's -2, and then we go over, and that's +3, right? So I'm going to go from -2 to +3, and within that, I'll have all of the x values for this line. So I see -2, +3, -2, +3. I know these are definitely not right because they have y values, and that's not domain. So then the question becomes, how do I know what symbol to use, right? And so if you see something shaded, we want to include the number. So we want to include the 2, negative, and then we want to include the 3, positive, right? So to include, we just show equal to, and that's it. Option number 2 for this is pretty similar, and you could do both. But basically, you just go, okay, domain, I'm looking at a line. First thing I do is I look for boundaries. So I'm going to use my pencil. I'm just going to write the ordered pair, right? So I know that's a -2 up 5. So there's my -2, 5, right? So that's an ordered pair. And then over here, I could say, okay, that's over 3, down 5. So 3, 5, right? And so I'm just making sure I have the numbers, right? So I have all the numbers I need right now, and I actually have more than I need because I just want the domain. So what I need is, I just need the x values. And so what I can do is, I know x comes before y, I'm going to cross out the y. So they're distracting me no more. And then I'm going to start with least and go to greatest. So -2 to 3, include the -2, include the -2, which means I have less than or equal to in both situations. Okay. Let's look at a range. So on this teacher example number 2, it says, what is the range of the function? And so I could use either strategy. So I'll just kind of model both, and then you can choose. But the difference now is that range is talking about up and down, right? We're talking about the y-axis. So I'm looking up and down. And so what I want to do is I want to have a bottom border and I want to have a top border, right? Or a bottom boundary and a top boundary. So I'm going to grab my line tool, and just to be fun, change the color. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a boundary on the bottom. And then the second thing I'll do is draw a boundary on top. Okay, so that just helps me see where the actual numbers are. One thing I'm going to add though is I'm going to use my eraser tool. Because that dot there, or that point, is not shaded in, we are not going in to include it. So I'm just going to make this line dashed, right, to show that it's not including that number there, right? So that number is, looks like we're 3 down, so -3. And so I'll just do this. It's so over -6. So this is my second strategy, right, is just to actually write the numbers. So -6 and -3 is my ordered pair. I'll show the parentheses there just so you know. And then here, right, what's our point? So it's over 2, up 5. So 2, 5, right? Remember, I'm doing more than I need to because I just want to, be thorough. So in this situation, right, range, again, is the y values. And so all my y values are going to be between That's a distraction. That's a distraction because those are x's, right? So I can start at the bottom, right? We're going to start with -3 and then moving up all the way until 5, right? So in that space there, we'd find all of our possible y values on this line. So starting at -3 and going to 5, you'll notice here we have to pick the symbol. So I'm going to come back to my -3. I see that the dot is not shaded. And so because of that, I do not want to include it, right? So I don't want to be equal to -3. It's just moving away from -3. But then the 5 I do want to include, which is why that is shaded, right? So y is less than or equal to 5, and that's why we shaded the 5. I hope that helps. On the next slides, you'll have some examples here. So just 6 total examples, 3 range, 3 domain, and I hope that this helps you understand this in a deeper way. Feel free to use the tools. That's why we're using this today. So just another way for you to mark things up and get information into your brain. Good luck.